let me just quote the late, great Colonel Sanders, who said, "I'm too drunk to taste this chicken."
Shake and bake.
Yeah.
What? Shake and bake.
What is that, a catchphrase or is that epilepsy?
Hello, and welcome to Two Guys and a Few Good Men. I am TJ Washuk.
And I'm Garrett Loberg.
And this is Movie Lowdown for the week of April 8th, 2019.
How you doing, guys? Well, this has been a pretty big week in news. Not for like big news, but just a lot of stuff.
Media in general, I guess. Media consumption.
So how about we get right into the news? So this week, the first one I brought up, this is something we've been talking about for a while, and I'm finally excited that they've dropped a solid note about it. Disney Plus is going to be launching November 12th for $6.99. That is a game changer right there.
Yep, and Captain Marvel will be there on day launch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I read that. And you can download the movies and the content on there, so if you have to do offline mode just like on Netflix,
okay,
you can do that.
That's what I like, is because if I'm going to go on a trip or something, I'd much rather have like my device with a Disney movie on it, or like some movie that I haven't seen that I can watch for the first time. And
can you imagine that? So now you don't have to pay $30 for these overpriced Disney movies. You can just get their streaming service for only $7 a month.
Exactly. So this is big. It's so funny that we thought it was going to be around the summertime. It ended up being in November.
Yeah.
Do you think, did that throw you off at all? Did that surprise you that they came out with it?
What is surprising though is Apple's service is coming out in the fall too.
Really? Okay. So there's going to be a lot of competitors, and Apple's kind of smart to get into it finally, because they never have really used a streaming service to their advantage.
No. Now that they have all those movie studios to back them.
Yep. So, but that's really good news in the world of Disney. Still, they just keep piling on money. I'm pretty sure with all the money that they've been making, I like that they dropped it to $6.99 too, because that's a little bit more affordable for a family.
Especially for people that are low income. Yeah. Would probably be like, oh, we can't afford Netflix, let's go with Disney Plus.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're looking at the end of the month and you're saying, what do I want to be spending? Do I want to be spending $12.99 on Netflix or $10.99, whatever it is right now?
And how often do I watch Disney content?
Yep. It's gonna
on Netflix. Yeah,
it's gonna monopolize it, man. Did you say the Endgame was gonna be on it too?
I didn't see that, but more than likely it will once it comes out on Blu-ray.
All right. Well, next up we've got some Shazam news. This one.
So we are getting a sequel to Shazam. So apparently they probably had it in the works before they got the numbers for the box office, but the director is coming back and he's gonna be the writer as well.
I think this is a solid choice for DC. They've got this movie already pretty much bagged up. It's a A+ in the ratings. It's a fan favorite. People like
everyone's saying DC finally got it right. Their format that they needed.
Well, and to be honest, their next movie is going to be Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I believe. And they're
that could be why there was production issues, because they wanted to adapt to like Shazam style, maybe.
Maybe I wouldn't be surprised them adding like more wizardry and stuff like that in the movies. Although it doesn't come up a lot. It comes up a lot like for Constantine and different other entities in that universe, but not a lot in like that solid universe of just superhero.
Yeah.
So
and maybe there was issues with Superman or Batman being in it, because they're not having those characters reprise their roles.
That's very true. So,
because in spoiler alert for Shazam, you see Superman at the end, but it's cut off.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if that was Henry Cavill in there. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but maybe he just had a very big disagreement, and that's why, or he didn't want to play it anymore. It's been so mucky, and that's what they need to really clear up if they want to keep this trend going. That's really good. They need to come out and say, hey, Henry is with us still. He's going to continue with us, and they even said that, but I don't think people believe them.
No.
So, But good news for Shazam. That means that they're going to keep going, and I agree 100%. The smart thing is these kids, they got to keep them young. They're going to get older really quick. So they got to do this fast, or else they're not going to have these kids anymore.
I know, that's so true. Well, the same thing with the Avengers now. They're all getting older. Tony Stark is looking a little gray on the beard.
A little gray on that. Got a little pepper in your you got a little pepper in your beard there, man.
And it's not Miss Potts either.
All right, next up, we've got some. This one, I was surprised you reacted so. I like that you reacted so good about this.
What was this one?
Wreck-It Ralph's director, Rich Moore, is leaving Disney Animation Studios and joining Sony Animation Studios, and he got a pretty good paycheck out of this. I didn't know the exact numbers, but it was a pretty good paycheck. But you brought up...
Yeah, this has me really excited. Wreck-It Ralph was definitely the number 2 animated movie last year. If you haven't seen it yet, you are missing out. I really enjoyed it. The animation style, the story, everything about it was great. But Spider-Man, that was just like our all-around favorite movie.
Yep.
And to see that man that drove Wreck-It Ralph to its success, or part of its success, is now going to be in Sony's animated studio, which has done awesome, and it seems like they're just going to be pushing up the
up in the ante.
Yeah,
and I said if they brought him on to do Spider-Man 2, the Spider-Universe 2, I think that if they brought him along as at least a creative collaborator,
probably that. I think so.
You're gonna add
they already have the directors and stuff already set up, but help out with the creative like roundtable talk.
Oh yeah. So I think that you add something like that. That's like adding Tom Brady to your team, in his prime.
Exactly. So not only he doesn't have to direct or write the movies. He can give his direction to what he thinks is best.
Yep. So that's huge news for Sony. I agree with you on their animated movies are awesome.
Yeah.
They're always detail oriented. They're also fun. Minus like the Emoji movie. That even though that was the best movie of the year a couple of years back, they do have their times that they like kind of just green light something and it's not really.
No, I'm just saying what they put out with Spider-Man was amazing, and if they keep doing that now that they have Wreck-It Ralph, man, whatever his name is,
Rich Moore,
thank you, Rich Moore. Sorry. What's next?
Next up, we've got Beetlejuice sequel has been officially shelved by Warner Brothers themselves.
Beetlejuice.
Where are you, buddy?
Damn it.
Oh, man.
Well, kind of saw that coming because we haven't heard anything about it for a while since they started talking about it. I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of probably a good thing because I don't think Michael Keaton wants to be in it.
I don't know that what I read about an article was that they were really excited to do it, but it just kind of there wasn't like the excitement that they wanted.
Like the hype?
There wasn't, the hype for it. Wasn't.
So they're just putting out their feelers?
Yeah, and I don't think they got what they wanted, and it's obviously shown by them shelving it. But the good news out of that is that they're not canning it.
Yeah, it's just shelved. Yeah.
Shelving it means that they could come back to it. Maybe Michael Keaton needs a paycheck later on in life, Everyone needs a paycheck.
When he's in the grave.
So, and then last up on our news, we've got a new G.I. Joe movie in the works.
I'm just kidding with you.
G.I. Joe!
Okay, yeah, that's right. So last one was Rise of a Cobra or something like that. It was pretty exciting. It's kind of like, popcorn munching movies.
I guess this one would be more, what I was reading was it would be more closer to the action figures.
Okay, so it's almost like a reboot?
Kind of a reboot, but with like funnier...
Because the last one was very much Transformers, but G.I. Joe.
Yeah, it didn't sit well. This news, like, kind of, I put it on there just because it was something extra that I saw. But it makes me disappointed that they're doing this because it makes me feel like they're continuing this trend of Mattel doing kind of, or Hasbro, I think it's Hasbro.
Hasbro, yeah.
Doing these movies. You know, I know that they did a really good job of Bumblebee, but that was a movie on its own. It wasn't. It was a Transformers movie, but it was kind of its own little entity.
Yeah, it's totally different, you know.
So, but I don't agree. I don't think that would be the best idea. But you know,
we'll see.
We'll see. Also, we've got. I always put it at last, so I apologize. I've been doing that the last couple weeks. Who joined that movie?
I'm ready to go in, Coach. Just give me a chance.
So first up, we have a movie called On the Rocks, which is a Sofia Coppola movie. It's about a daughter that goes to visit her party rock star dad, or party dad, which is going to be played by Bill Murray. And I believe the daughter is going to be Rashida Jones. And then Marlon Wayans.
Yeah.
That's crazy to see Marlon Wayans be back in a movie. I mean, last time I saw him was G.I. Joe or something.
Yeah, I believe it was G.I. Joe. So yeah, good cast for that. I'd like to see that.
It sounds like a fun movie. Mm-hmm. You know, daughter meets crazy dad.
Daddy meets. All right, and then next up we have Michael Shannon and Shea Wiggum to star in a thriller, The Quarry. I believe this was Ron Howard.
Ron Howard. Oh, okay.
Talking about. I want to say this is Ron Howard. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. But. It's supposed to be like they didn't really go into it, but it's supposed to be more of a thriller, more of a, I don't know, keep you on your toes thriller. Not as scary, but just kind of like very creepy.
Yeah, Michael Shannon, he definitely pulled that off.
He does good.
And next up is our new segment we like to call
the Golden Shit of the Week.
So this week, what do we got a golden shit for?
We have a golden shit for Hollywood battling Donald Trump. So apparently there was a Trump video taken down due to The Dark Rises copyright claim. Did not see the video, did you?
No. That's why I think this is the golden shit of the week, because it's something that both parties are gonna have to deal with, and it's like it's just a headache. Let's just love each other.
Yeah, come on,
guys, come on. Hey, we're talking here, okay?
Let's watch some trailers.
We got movie trailers.
All right, first up on the movie trailers this week, we have Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, Rise of Skywalker. Wow.
Yeah. Well, Star Wars is at it again. They make their trailers look awesome, and then the movie, not so much.
Oh man, so we were at a location and I was waiting for him to come out, and I watched it in the car, and I like didn't say this to you in the car, but I like checked out. Like as soon as the trailer began, it was just so cliche to have it start off and like that whole shot was just weird, and it didn't remind me of a trailer. It just reminded me of like everything we see that I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know how to explain this. It just didn't sit well with me.
okay. Yeah. Looks like she's either training in the desert or something's coming after her, and then it cuts to the whatever Lando's in it. You see,
there's so much. There's so many shots in it. We'd have to like actually sit there and do a breakdown, because they rapidly fire those scenes so quickly.
True. But it says the saga comes to an end, and at the end, Palpatine's laugh.
That I think that's what kind of like got me at the end. I was like, really, we're gonna bring Palpatine back? Like, he's been the driving force between all 9 movies.
So is Snoke gonna come back?
I don't think so. Yeah. I think Palpatine was like,
what did he come out of Snoke's body when he died?
Hello, I am Snoke.
Yeah. Anyways, that's Star Wars, and it's coming out this December.
Yep, all the same characters. The only other ones that are in it, Lando Calrissian, and yeah. All right, next up for our movie trailers, we've got, is it Anna or Anna? That's gonna be the thing. No, I think it's Anna.
Yeah.
Wow, really John Wick-esque action.
Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, Atomic Blonde. Those kind of movies where there's a lot of fast-paced action. Doesn't look like there's a lot of cutting in it either. Looks like a lot of scenes were actually filmed together, so it doesn't look. It looks great.
Yeah. Basically, the girl is a model assassin.
I think that she was like a model, and they took her in, and like I'm sure she was molded from there.
Yeah. Let me read the synopsis here.
Here we go.
But Benneth Anna Potoviaz, so she's Russian. Striking beauty lies a secret that will unleash her undeniable strength and skill to become one of the world's most feared government assassins. So she's a government assassin.
Probably starts off as a dancer or something like that, and then ends up, turning heads, and then I don't know.
Yeah, it's
looks interesting.
The hero's journey.
Who we got in it?
So we got Anna playing, Sasha Lush is playing Anna, and then we got Helen Mirren playing Olga. We got our Luke Evans. He was in quite a few movies. He was in Dracula Untold, Beauty and the Beast as Gaston. He's in Fast and the Furious as Shaw, and more. He's playing as Alex Trechnikov. Nice Russian name. And then we got our boy Kellen Murphy. He's playing Lenny Miller, which is probably one of the either CIA or MI6 agents.
Yeah. But absolutely great action. Looks like it's got a pretty good plot. It doesn't look bad.
What I like to see this is the writer and director are the same. The writer and director is Luc Besson. He worked on The Fifth Element. He worked on Leon the Professional, Lucy, and a few others. He was one of the producers for Taken. So this guy, he knows how to make a good story and provide action, Let's see, this movie comes out on June 21st, 2019.
So coming up soon.
All right, last up on our movie trailers, we have Stuber, starring Dave Bautista and Kumail Nanjiani. This looks like a silly movie, man.
Yeah, this scares me because I see it and I laugh a lot during the trailer. And a lot of times that I've been laughing in these movies, I feel like they're the only parts that really pop.
Yeah, that's why they chose that for the trailer.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping that this movie isn't the same. It's got a lot more funny in it other than the trailer parts. It looks great. I mean, it looks a little bit of a chaotic mess, but it doesn't look bad.
Yeah. I mean, Dave Bautista, he's not too much of a talker. So that his movies where he has to talk a lot is kind of iffy for me, because the movie Bushwick that's on Netflix was pure garbage. But he was in Blade Runner 2049, but he played a guy that didn't speak that much.
Yeah.
And then you got Guardians of the Galaxy. He plays a guy that doesn't speak that much.
Well, and when he does his yelling. He's like, and he does a lot of that in this trailer. So, and then you don't actually see him doing a lot of speaking roles, other than like, get right here, and like he's screaming.
Yes, right.
So, we'll see. I'll definitely see this in the theater. I have no problem. It looks like it'd be at least a good laugh.
A good laugh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so
it's a buddy cop.
Yeah,
so he's an Uber driver and whatnot. And this is being directed by Michael Dowse. Michael Dowse has worked on Goon as the director. So other than that, I don't really see too much for him. And then the writer of this is Tripper Clancy. Don't really know too much. Doesn't really say too much about him on IMDb. So it's gonna be a B movie probably.
Yeah, but excited nonetheless.
Looks fun.
Yeah.
But that is it for our movie trailers this week. Let's move into the movie review.
You face every threat there is, and yet you take me in. Hello, son. You made me a goddamn weapon.
Where's my violin?
Movie review time. So this week we had the pleasure of going and seeing Hellboy. Now, seeing it and reading about it were two different things.
Yeah.
Because we went into the movie hearing a lot of bad things and kind of went about seeing what they were and like how they, you know, what was going on with them.
What were they poking at?
Yeah, and so we heard a lot of like really negative things about it. The movie was a mess, CGI was a mess, I had no storyline, and blah blah blah. But and it's also at like 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's pretty hit.
Pretty much the day it was released, it was just hit with backlash.
Yeah. Now they have a chance of going up with that easily, but depending on how many people reviewed, because there might not have been a lot of people reviewed
There's
it.
only like 33 people, I think.
Yeah.
At the time of that.
But I will tell you right now, the presence was felt. This won't make it to number one this week. I don't think. Because there was maybe 6 people in the movie with us, 7 people in the movie with us.
Yeah. It was small.
Very, very, very small theater. I mean, it was a big theater. It was just very small crowd. But let's get in the review.
So the things that I liked about it, the soundtrack was pretty awesome. I really liked the soundtrack, the makeup art, the one-liners. They had a lot of funny one-liners.
Yeah,
in it, you know.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie. I'll give him that.
I will say this is one thing I pulled out of. It was very charming.
Yeah.
It was very charming in the sense that it tried so hard. I think it got lost in the gore. I had no problem with the gore. I thought a lot of the gore was sometimes funny.
Yeah, it was funny or like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, it was very. The people behind us kept going, ooh, and like, oh,
yeah,
like that. And it was kind of funny to hear that. But it did stagger. I think at one point I almost fell asleep.
Yeah, there was some lulls.
Yeah, and the storyline was a little choppy. It was like they rushed it almost to get it done.
I heard there were some issues with on set with production. The Wrap, the website was talking about it, but I don't know if it would cause the actual storyline to be messed up. But there was some issues on the set. The movie kind of had like a Van Helsing underworld kind of a vibe to it.
Very much so.
Not too much like the original Hellboy. They
not even close. The other Hellboy was very. I think it had like some violence in it, but this had like a lot.
Heavy violent action horror. I would say.
I mean, at one point somebody like a giant rips somebody like
Yeah.
legs.
So I would say this movie is probably one of the goriest movies I've seen in a while in theaters.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't think of a movie like even for like a horror movie. I would compare it like the level of violence to the book movie. Shoot, what's it called?
Well, either way, it's just it was very violent. That was it was very not kid friendly, and that's where I really think that they're going to lose their numbers because the other Hellboy I believe was rated R or PG.
No, it's PG-13.
Yeah, so you still can get some kids in there, and it wasn't too scary. This though, I mean, a lot of people might bring their kids in, and they might really regret that really quick.
Yeah, and also on this movie, like the first 30 minutes, I saw someone posted. The first 30 minutes, they're like, "Oh, it's not that bad." And then after, hold my beer.
I definitely think that the first 30 minutes, I think it was when
it was
they...
exceptional. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be really cool.
I was really surprised, at the beginning, and then all of a sudden it kind of tapered off, and you're like, oh, that's...
It was like a slow decline in enjoyment. But it was still fun. I a lot of laughs, a lot of like, oh my. Thomas Church is in this, right? Mm-hmm. And I forgot he was in it, and he plays a great character.
Who did he play again?
Thomas Church. He was the guy that killed Nazis.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. He was the lobster.
The lobster. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had this hand that he would, instead of killing you, he would just make it known that you had been run into by him, and he would brand your head. It was
What? It was very interesting. This movie does a lot of things that they don't explain.
Yeah, they don't really go into a lot of. They kind of relied. I think they were saying that it was supposed to be a spiritual successor. So
or if you're a fan of the comics, I've never read them, but apparently the scenes that they had were taken directly from the comics.
Oh, okay.
Some of them were, like the giant scene, and a few other. Oh, I thought that was a funny scene. That was such a fun scene with the giants.
When they killed, or which part of it?
So they go to this like underground, they call it a boys club, which is like a Illuminati type of a deal. And
Osiris Club.
Yeah, the Osiris Club. And they're kind of monster hunters and try to defend the world type of deal. And their leader wears the helmet of a giant stag on his head.
Yes. Yeah, and that scene was pretty well set up. I didn't think about that when they spoiler alert. They have a scene where they're bringing him to fight a giant, which in the trailer you think you see
3 giants.
Yeah, 3 giants, and
they can only handle 2. And that's one thing. They had a lot of corny humor, and I feel like they just owned it.
Oh, they did. They went right for it, and they didn't have any quarrel about it.
But some people did, in the reviews, they didn't understand that they knew it's supposed to be corny, and I felt that vibe with that movie.
Yeah.
But sorry, you were saying?
Oh, no. They was just really, like, they did this ambush scene, and they did it so well, because you don't even see it coming. You're like...
Yeah, with the giants?
Yeah, and the group of them, they're like... He goes, this is a great place for an ambush, and they're like, yep. And they just, like, start getting at him, and I was like...
And they started taking
damn! Like, they just went right for it, so... I think that was probably one of my favorite scenes of just him kicking ass, but them kicking ass too as well. So
yeah, I mean, I would definitely rank it in about 60%.
Yeah, I said about 40 last night. Yeah. I would bump that up to after like sitting on it overnight. I would say easily 55 for me. Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, if you are a fan of Hellboy, I think you would like it.
Yeah.
Of superhero movies, you would like it. But if you don't give a crap about any of that, do not see this movie.
It's probably
you will not like it.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy like the actual like content to enjoy this movie.
Yep.
Like if you're not a Marvel fan, you can still enjoy a Marvel movie type of deal. Which brings me to my point. Remember when nerd stuff used to be stupid? Yeah. And now Marvel is like super popular. Star Wars is super popular.
Yeah, it's taken because it popularizes, and so then you have people that are no longer
follow the trends.
Yep, and so you have people that would have not liked it before finding that this stuff is very relatable. You know, there are jocks in
Spider-Man.
In Spider-Man, there are nerds in, you know, Captain America. You know, there's just so many different
types of people they can relate to.
And even this movie, like, you know, they brought it up that it was for like people that are outcast. Maybe not demon outcast wise, but you know,
but are like a motley crew kind of dudes.
Yeah, so
girls. Sorry.
I like that they brought that up, kind of like how the X-Men do. Like, you're not just because they're X-Men doesn't mean that they're like demons or anything. So.
And I like the characters that they used for his sidekicks. The psychic girl, and then
Cheetah
Boy, which is also... Did you know that guy was 50 years old? That's insane. He looks so good for a 50-year-old.
Yeah, he doesn't
look
old at all. Yeah, no, because I looked up his character, and I looked, and I was like... I looked on his IMDb, and I was like... That guy's old.
Yeah. He looks like he's in his 30s, honestly.
Yep.
Great genes.
Yeah, right?
But yeah, that is Hellboy, and that is this week's movie Lowdown. We do hope you guys enjoy this show. Please don't forget to like and share and or subscribe if you're on YouTube. Hopefully you guys enjoy this work here we're doing, and I don't know what else to say.
We just want to, thank you for coming in and enjoying the movie with us.
Yeah, so why don't you go and have a good night, and we love you and good night.
Have a good one.
This has been